All right. Well, welcome back. I said to a certain redheaded Canadian that I was not going to watch this show, that I was not going to review this show, and I had nothing to do with this show. I watched the first two episodes and then I bailed immediately and never came back. And even when some people reached out to me on Instagram and said, "What do you think?" I said, I made it to two. And even people I know that would defend this show said, "Well, then don't bother watching three and just keep it at two." So that's what I did. All right. So I have a little bit that I'm going to say really quick, and then I'm literally going to let you guys go from there because I have no idea what happened on this show because I literally did not watch past episode 2. All right. Here's what I saw.
He's being serious?
Yeah, I didn't watch past episode
serious. 2. I had to tell him some of the key points that happened in the series after.
Well, technically, I was in the hospital, so that's some of the reason why they didn't have Disney Plus at the hospital. But I watched.
Thought they'd be like they would torture you. They would like put it on the screen and put the controller on the other side of the room.
No, let me tell you what. Let me tell you though. I was texting the wife different infomercial stuff that I thought we could use around the house until she said, "Stop texting me at 2:00 in the morning from the hospital." Going, "Oh, you know what? I saw the Ginsu 5000 knife. That looks pretty good. Should we buy one of those?" Because. All right. So here's what I saw. The first thing that I saw is just the first 2 episodes, but from what I've seen just by people talking, I think it kind of goes... All the relationships are pretty superficial and shallow. You didn't really know these people. I mean, right off the bat, you see somebody you don't know. You see a mechanic that it's like they want to explain to you that she's a mechanic, that she's some kind of good with her hands. But then from what I understand, it never came back up again. She was never a mechanic again. So don't really know why we need to do that. They introduced some Jedis. Jedis walk around. We didn't really know what they were there for. We saw the chick from the Matrix there. We don't really know who she is or why she is. We're in their bar. We don't know why she is or who they are. They have a fight. We don't really know why they're fighting. We don't know what the point of it is. And I was going to put an edit on here of all the people who survived stabs to some part of their body with a laser sword, the hotness of the sun, and yet Matrix Girl cannot withstand a stab from a sharp, pointy object through all of her Jedi robes, and she dies instantly, which I thought was kind of interesting. So the characters lack depth to the extent that it's nearly impossible to become invested in their actions or the events they're a part of. I actually wrote this out because I was in the hospital. A significant reason for this lack of specificity in their portrayal. For instance, we encounter the protagonist as an expert mechanic aboard a cargo ship, but this aspect of her character lacks authenticity and fails to resonate realistically. This is when I had all those college degrees. I was writing it out nice. She's a former Jedi that doesn't use any of the skills that she's learned. She's not special. We could swap her out with anyone and nothing would change. She is boring. She does nothing and nothing happens to her. Everybody in this show is reactionary. Nobody's forcing this stuff. She just, things happen to me. Oops, the Jedi's here. And you can't feel for somebody who's like nothing is happening to them. The bad guy fight. We know nothing about either one of them. They are strong. They are fighting. What is the reason? It's hard to. Was that a hard fight or easy fight? Because we don't know either one of their skills. We don't know if there's any emotion to this. We have a killer who can't kill Jedi and a Jedi who doesn't want to live. Oh, that's from whenever the guy who's supposed to be old, who's hovering. He's doing his yoga pose, and he has the worst wig I've ever seen. This one I told you, the show looks like the CW, and you argue with me. You argue with me, Canadian. Said, no, of course it's great. No. He had the worst wig I've ever seen, okay? And she goes to kill him. She can't kill him, so what she does, she offers him poison. He drinks it himself. Why do we care? We don't know this Jedi. He killed himself with the poison. We can't get invested in these people. This is why the show is bad. It has nothing to do with the rest of the stuff. I'm not even going to talk about all the other crazy stuff. The story was a Jedi killer is killing Jedi, but an innocent person is getting blamed and she has to stop her. But early on, we already know that she's innocent. So it seemed like the show was trying to say, there's some kind of crazy killer out there killing Jedis. But we already know who the killer is. And within 10 minutes, we know this girl that they're following around, she's not the killer. So we don't care. Instead, she's just following Jedi around wherever they go. And it doesn't make any sense. She is passive and has nothing to do but just hang out. All right. Now, all the Jedi are the same. They're not special. There is no Mace Windu. There is no Anakin. They're all the same. They have no personality, nothing at all, except for they're kind of different aliens and they're kind of different colors. And I will say, here's where my main problem is: the Disney Jedi problem. I didn't even write this out, so I'm just going to say it. They're the bad guys. That's what they're trying to make them out to be. They go out there and they steal children. They do this, they do that. They make you not like them. They make us not care about them anymore because every Jedi we see has no personality. But then we're supposed to care about these Jedi because they're being killed by a character that we don't know why they're killing them. We don't care that all these Jedi dies. The only thing that I saw on Instagram while I was watching you guys from my hospital bed is that they were excited about the Wookiee. I assumed the Wookiee dies because I never heard about the Wookiee again. But nobody seemed to care about any of these Jedis dying. Okay? $180 million. CW level crap. And you said it was good, Casper. You said this was good. You said it was good. It looked good. Okay?
I said the effects looked good in the first 2 episodes.
$180 million. The Mandalorian, $120 million. The Kenobi show, $90 million. I know I said the Kenobi, but I'm just saying half the amount of the budget was Kenobi. What? Who was this right here? The FBI needs to investigate that. Police! The FBI needs to investigate that because somebody's laundering money. There's no way they spent $180 million on this goddamn show. There's no way. Absolutely ridiculous. There's no way they spent that much money. All right, so that's my little thing. Now, I have some other stuff, okay? All right.
Here I thought this brush with death would have turned you around.
No.
But you just got darker.
And
he took the anger, the hate, and fueled him to the dark side.
Right. Yeah, Carrie-Ann Moss. Maybe Carrie-Ann Moss asked for $100 million. Then I'm okay with the $80 million being spent. If they gave her $100 million for 5 minutes of the work, get it where you can, sister. If that's what happened.
Yep.
So I watched the Instagrams, and I was gonna have people on here. I was gonna put them on blast. I was gonna put them on, and I decided I'm not gonna burn the whole thing down. Okay, here's the thing, man. And I was telling you, I'm watching these Instagram posts, and I'm watching all these people talk about it, and I see people saying stuff like the show's bad. Now, if I saw people say the show's bad because there's too many people of color, dang black people are everywhere, dang gay people everywhere, hey, then I'm right there with you. I'm going to tell them to shut up and go somewhere else. Nobody wants to see that. But most people had legitimate complaints about this show. The writing was terrible. The acting's terrible. I don't even know what we're supposed to be caring about. And people just got attacked. And I was telling this to the Canadian earlier. Here's what I think we are in this world, in politics and in Star Wars. People have gone on their team for so long. This is both sides now. And you said, if you don't like Star Wars, you hate women, you hate gay people, you hate everything. And you've done that for so long now that when you see a show that is actually bad, this is bad. This was not a good show. This was written and directed by somebody who was not ready for something like this. Okay. She does not know how to run a show. Sorry. You've done that for so long that you can't admit you don't like something now because now you're one of those. Now you're one of the ones that hate women and all that stuff. And that's the only explanation I can give why some people were willing to die on that mountain that this is an amazing show. Because there's no way. Kenobi is the greatest Star Wars character ever, and that show was terrible, and I was willing to admit it. So, come on. That's the only thing I could think of. Now, we're going to do about Mundi here. That show was crap. Yeah, well. All right, so some of this is going to be done because the Canadian was nice enough to tell me what happened in the show because they said, Mundi said there was a time of peace for 1,000 years. You told me they tried to do this with an abortion of an explanation of how that Mundi can know about this, so I guess we'll get into that later. I do have this Leslie Headland, all right, interview. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's about a birthday. Drama. Okay.
It's the dumbest thing ever. It's about a birthday. But I was
no, it's not about a birthday, and that bothered me that she said that, and they're giggling about it, and Leslie Headland also giggled about it. They care about when Mundi's birthday is. No, you jackass! You just changed an entire species and rewrote history, and you guys are giggling like it's just silly, right? Like it's okay. Listen. There are a lot of cool TV shows. There's a lot of cool movies over the years that people thought they were cool in 1985, and then old people go back and remember seeing the show and go, oh, that's cool. Why has Star Wars lasted for freaking 50 years? because of canon, because people like and that you can build on a thing.
You care about all that.
Yeah. So when you just piss on it, or people go, oh well, what difference does it make? It's just a TV show. Well, that's the difference between that and this. And what I will say is that the Jedi just got killed. Okay, according to the Canadian, a whole bunch of Jedi died. This was 100 years to 80 years. There's some discrepancy here. And one of the reasons why our current timeline Jedi, episode 1, 2, and 3, one of the reasons why they blew it is because they were arrogant and they've had 1,000 years of peace and they haven't had anything really happen to them. So they didn't see the wolf in the hen house. But if all this happened within their memory, all these Jedis died and people turned, wouldn't they be more on their game and be looking around for shit instead of just saying, oh, well, nothing happened and that's why we're not sensing any evil? So it doesn't make any sense anyway. It's kind of silly here. So she goes on. Yeah, we're gonna have timelines here, okay? She goes on. The whole thing irritated the piss out of me, but there's a few of them here. Let me see if this is it. One of them.
So he ended up being essentially very anti-establishment, which is
she's talking about the bad guy.
The rebels are, and the resistance is in Star Wars normally, but once I locked into like, oh right, he's the voice of the the counterculture of this era. Which is why it's so important to go through those first.
I can't hear anything.
Do you see what I'm saying? This is a Sith who's killing people, and she's comparing it to a counterculture guy like he's a punk star. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of like the rebels of his era. No, he's murdering people. He's evil. And this is the problem. This is how they look at it. They look at it like, no, the Jedi are actually the problem. And it's this. Oh, and then I missed this one at 17:30.
He really had a lot of time in the hospital.
Oh yeah,
everything that you need to know about. But you brought her here.
Listen, here you go.
Like,
ready?
You recruit children and you train them and you bring them into situations that they shouldn't be in. And now you're mad at me? Just putting it out there that possibly that could be the case.
So she goes on another interview I read that she's basically like, Jedi steal children. No, they don't. We know from Dooku and a few other examples, okay, that he was considered a freak. He was considered a weirdo. And a lot of people did think people who had the Force powers were freaks. You also would go there and you would explain to them, like sometimes it would be an honor. There was a lot of things. But Jedi weren't going into villages and murdering everybody and stealing babies and running off in the freaking middle of the night. This is not what was happening. This is a freaking lady who just reinvented stuff, and then she's giggling about this, okay? She's giggling about, how, no, okay? Oh, they steal babies. No, they don't. Do you even know the show that you did, okay? I'm going to skip the Jedi's only been 100 years thing because she says, you know what? No, let's play it. Let's just go with it, okay? Let's just do it.
Pre and post Battle of Yavin, like they're in a different space where they're operating with less oversight, number one, and they're also operating with, I think, a little more hubris. Like, of course, we're doing the right thing. We're doing the right thing. This is how we've always done it, and that's the right thing. Of course, we're, when we seeing them on Brendok and seeing how they negotiate the issue with the witches and how.
Okay, she goes on to say these are totally different Jedi. This is one generation away from the current Jedis in Episode 1. How are they so different? This is totally different Jedi. It's 100 years. Half of these Jedi now are living thousands of years the way she retold the story. So how are these different Jedi? These are different Jedis. They're one generation removed.
Children may be
it legitimately is one generation
recruited by them. I mean, I know that sort of the idea
between.
If I can sort of unpack it, I'm assuming that the idea was
pretty much.
that parents give up their children.
See, here she goes.
Almost as an
here she goes.
Service, like we have a force sensitive child, they would be better with you guys to train, et cetera, et cetera. But I think if, like Mother Anastasia and like Manny's character, they don't align their beliefs with the Jedi.
I guess he's technically 10 years old.
That there are some Force users that don't.
See, she's like, I assume that they come and do this, and I assume they come and do that. You rewrote canon, and you actually have no idea what you're talking about. You just keep saying, well, I assume they do this, I assume they do that, and it's fine, but like it's ridiculous. And then I think it's around here she starts talking about Anakin.
Getting Anakin out of a horrible situation so that he can become a Jedi. So it's a positive coded transition to, well, maybe that was a really positive situation, but perhaps there were other ones that were not. And did the Jedi learn from that?
Listen.
And when they did learn from that, is that why when Anakin shows up, they're like, he's too old to train. Like, we can't.
Okay. So she just said, because of what happened now, that's possibly why they didn't want to train Anakin. This is what she says. You can't have it both ways. Either they remember what happened, all these Jedi dies, and they're paying attention, or they're not. But you can't have it both ways, okay? And I have a whole bunch of stuff up here, but I'll just say most of it was like reviews of, which I was telling you earlier, Canadian, where all these famous people come out and all these review people come out and they say it's amazing, it's awesome. And I had a bunch of these quotes. And now they're all backpedaling, saying, oh, no, it wasn't very good. Like Forbes was one, okay? The Acolyte episode recap and review, a dreadful season finale, and the cameos can't save it. Well, that's not what they were saying at the beginning. And this is what they do. They all come out and say, oh, the show is great. You got 17% of Rotten Tomatoes still. And then now people are like, oh, after they review bombed it, they got it all the way to 17%. This is what you're going with? That they got it all the way up to 17%. When you do that, and like I said, I'm not even mentioning the whole thing where she just kept saying over and over again, and this thing where like they say it preemptively. And I had them all out there, but I didn't want to take it down that path. Well, they were saying it preemptively. If you don't like this show, you don't like women, you don't like this, you don't like that. And I think she was doing tongue in cheek with the whole RTD2 is a lesbian and everyone's gay. I think she was just trying to be funny. But when you do that preemptively and you do these things and then you don't seem to know what you're talking about. And then when she said, I'm going to have Yoda, I want to have Yoda there because this is my show, damn it. Well, that kind of attitude is the problem, isn't it? When you say it's your show, because everybody else, they at least say it publicly that this is the show for the people. This isn't my show. And then she says that I think that she thought that she wasn't going to be, beloved by the people. And so she started off, and there was another person who was on her side who now says, it feels like you did this on purpose. It feels like you're antagonizing the fans on purpose. That was just the TV show. And that's the episode 2. That's all I got. And I was like, I don't care about any of these fucking people. Why would I keep watching this? I watched everything else. I watched Diaper fucking Dandy, Mandalorian guy. I watched fucking Kenobi embarrassing me, making me cry because of what they did to him. And I watched them all. And I couldn't get past episode 2 of this. And then I had people texting me on Instagram who like this show, telling me, don't bother watching it if you already don't like an episode 2. It gets much worse. And they were defending it in public and Instagram, for God's sakes. Now, I will turn it over to you two because I have no idea what goes on past this.
I mean, you watched everything else. You could have at least watched the show.
No! I refuse. I probably would have.
Oh, God.
To be fair, if I wasn't in the hospital the whole 2 weeks the show was going, I probably would have eventually watched it, but I didn't have any way to watch it. And then I got home and I got a lot of stuff to do. I haven't been home in weeks. I'm not watching that show.
That's so good. Well, spoiler alert, didn't get better. It did not get better. I don't know how we should do this, June. Do you want to even cover the big story beats? Do you want to just kind of give your thoughts on the whole thing in general?
No, I mean, I was annoyed. Constantly annoyed. I really was. Like, okay, this is set 100 years before everything we know, right? So this is like the most important piece of Star Wars that probably should exist, because you're introducing things that we, I was excited for the show. I really thought they were going to do something really good, but I don't know why I was hoping so much, but
you're hopeful. That's why
they could have. I am a hopeful person. They could have done so much with it, but they didn't, and it was just bad on so many levels. Even like that. To begin with, the realism was terrible, like fire in space and shit like that.
The fire in space is normal though.
Not that kind of. That was a campfire.
That was
fire
glowing like
space.
a
Yes,
campfire.
that wasn't a spark that we have to ignore. That was a campfire.
No, I will defend the fire because my favorite ship, the Executor, gets blown away by a kamikaze A-wing pilot, and the Super Star Destroyer goes down with a fire coming out. So I will give that one. That's the pass
Hey,
I'm giving.
I can blame that on jet fuel or something. This was just a damn campfire on a wing.
A-wings can't melt Super Star Destroyers.
And they capture. So the Jedi, they capture her, and what do? Instead of taking her back themselves, they put her on a transporter by herself.
Hindsight is crazy because if she killed a Jedi, and she is apparently this knows force powers, why did they put her in a cell she could just open up?
Yep.
With droid, like, it is a crazy case. So, oh my god, it is a
Bender. He looked like Bender, right?
Sorry.
That droid looked like Bender from Futurama. And then the Jedi, they collect all the escape pods and they go all the way back to Coruscant before deciding to go back, right? They could have just stayed there and looked for the wrecked ship.
Jeez. Yeah, I have no idea how we're ready to talk through this whole thing. I think I'm just gonna quickly get some things out the way on my brain. This is the worst child acting I've ever seen anything Star Wars in my entire anything. Those two children were absolutely terrible. They're seeing them show up multiple times aches my body to no end. Acting in general isn't good. Soul, I liked it first, but as the season went on, I felt his acting got pretty much he was doing the exact same thing, saying the same exact thing, doing the same emotion.
That's because he didn't know English before the show.
He learned English for this, which is so commendable to him. I will say that.
Just let him speak Korean. Like, I don't need him to speak English. Not everybody in Star Wars can speak this. Just let him speak Korean then. I'll read a subtitle.
The little rat didn't. The little rat.
Oh yeah, the little weasel thing. So anyways, that the only person in the entire show I would say who did a good job acting was, I can't even remember how to pronounce the character's name, like Kirmir, the villain. Once he reveals himself as the villain, he is probably the only one doing a good job acting.
You mean Sexy Time? That guy? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah. Sexy Time. He goes naked into the water. I fully thought we were gonna see ass or something like male genitals. I was waiting for that to happen. I'm like,
I knew he was Sith when he first appeared, and it's funny because the actor, he's in The Good Place, right? And The Good Place in that comedy show, he pretends to be someone else he's not at the start.
That's funny.
And then gets found out that he's actually some dumbass.
That's probably where they got the idea to do it for. They go, oh, he did another show. He can do play
show. All right, so X-23, she's very boring. She's just there. Yord, Anakin blows up the Death Star guy, terrible. Pretty much the green Vanessa Rowe, the green lady, also not good. Her actor's terrible. She got the role because her wife is the director. She says it wasn't. She says she auditioned for it. There's no shot.
Are you serious?
There's no shot. No, she's the wife of the director. And they said no, she got it because she auditioned. She did great. No, that wasn't it.
Good. It wasn't good.
The sisters, the twins, who are played by the same actor, she is not good. She is, as it goes, she is not good.
She's pretty though. I've seen some modeling shots of her. She's pretty. I can say that for her.
Now, yeah. So plot-wise, all the Jedi, as they find them or get killed and everything, and then we get to the big part where they go to find Kalnaka, the Wookiee. He is killed by the villain before they even show up, and then the big fight happens. Where I said the only thing of interest was that fight, him killing everyone. Seeing him snap Yord's neck was the happiest I was in the entire show. I sat there gleefully smiling.
That was really good.
And then him stabbing away at X-23 with the Shoto part of the blade was good. And yeah. And then everything went back. eventually, we get more stuff plot wise, and then for me, I don't know about you, Kachun, when that second last episode came, and it was just the flashback again, where it reveals what really happened that night
I didn't
at
want
the
to see
fire
it.
and all that. I was the most fucking angry I could have been. Sat there watching that fucking shit pour out of the TV at me. Fucking literally.
Uh-oh. He got so mad his microphone cut off. Oh, Disney knows about it. Look at him. Disney cut his microphone off so he can't say nothing. Disney's like, you're never going to talk again on this here.
No, we still can't hear you.
No, we can't hear you,
That's
dude.
hilarious.
All right, let's get back to some people who might. Let's go, Kachung. So you got down to the last few episodes of the show.
I watched the first 3, and then because I didn't want to see anything online about the show. I just knew it was going to get worse, but it took me probably 4 weeks at least to watch the others, minus the last episode, which I watched today. But yeah, I don't know. There's just I think the thing they did a decent job on, if I can even say that, is they did spend a lot of money. So the retro look of some of the consoles and the computers and stuff was kind of neat. But I mean, that was just from my own experience making crap like that. You know, it takes a lot of effort. So, you know, props to the people that make the props.
So,
but I mean,
you're going with the whole, yeah, they might have spent twice the amount of money that they've ever spent making one of these shows again, but at least the prop people got paid. Is that what you're hoping for?
Yeah.
No, well, that's good. That's very nice of you.
But I mean, they did spend so much money. I mean, where did it go?
I have no idea.
I mean, they make those kind of props in all of these shows.
I'm telling you, there was some money laundering going on here. This was some epic drug dealing money laundering going on, and
I guess it went to Trinity, right? I don't know.
Yeah, the Canadian before he was able to finish.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there he's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my
I literally
God.
looked at my phone. It disconnected me from Twitch as well. I think because I swore too much.
No, you were swinging. You swing your hand and something happened. As soon as you swing your hand, I heard a click.
All
I
right.
don't know.
So, I fucking hated that.
Well, if you
so
swear too much, don't start cursing again, or Twitch is gonna kick you off again.
All right, I'll stop. Just as soon as I stop complaining about this show. So the and was it episode 3 flashback? What do we get to see? Oh no, all this crazy stuff happens. The Jedi show up to the witches. The witches are doing these things. They're branding the girl. Oh, what's going on? Then we have the two sisters get arguing with each other. The worst acting argue. The one doesn't want the Osha and May. May does not want Osha to go with the Jedi. She wants her to stay there with them and have a jolly old time with the witches. So She locks her sister in the room, pulls her little notebook or art book with all the Jedi stuff in it, grabs a torch off the wall, burns it, goes, "Oh, I'm burning it," drops it, catches an electrical fire in the giant stone base, and then the whole place catches fire. And then we don't see what happens. We just see the Jedi thing going around. Then Osha gets out, sneaks out, and she's running through the courtyard, and all the witches are dead, just in a big pile, but no one's burned. You're like, okay, so that's weird. She's running through the courtyard. She finds her mother's dead, but that's it, just alone in the middle of the courtyard. Soul stops, says her. He runs off. The two of them are on a bridge, and they're talking to each other. The worst acting. And then bridge breaks, and Soul saves Osha. He runs and catches her, basically. And then we get the reveal to what happened that night. Soul and the other guy, the one who kills himself with the poison. Oh my God, they're like so mind wiped. They go to save them, and some nonsense happens. It's oh my God, I can't even begin to try and explain this. We have a moment where they're all having a conflict with each other. They're standing in the courtyard. The witch mother's here. The Master Soul is next. You have the young apprentice here, and you have the other witch mother over there. Something happens where they trigger it, and a fight about to break out. And then Oh yeah, sorry. May comes running out, going, "I burned the place down. I'm burning it. We need to stop them." An attack is made. What happens? Why? What happens? The witch mother, standing in the middle, just rises up, turns this black ethereal ghost, goes, "Ah!" Screeches. Her mouth turns into giant teeth. Soul standing next in slow motion goes, "Holy shit!" Pulls his lightsaber, stabs her. She reverts back to normal and goes, "I was gonna let her go with you." And then dies. And then Soul feels bad. He's like, "I killed an innocent person." What the hell was that? And then what was that move she was doing? And then we get the reveal. What happened to all the Air Witches? How'd they die? Were they all killed by the Jedi? Did they burn? No, they sat in a Kumbaya circle, humming, oh, humana, 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 as they were possessing Kalnaka, the Wookiee. And we get to see the Wookiee fight. And there's a reason why we've never seen a Wookiee fight with a lightsaber, because it's shit. He's fucking walking around like this, swinging about, doing crap-ass choreography. And it's supposed to be the coolest thing ever. It was terrible. The Trandoshans, who took down Black Chrysanthemum, could have had two of them took out this Jedi. Could have climbed on him and pushed him down. Then we have Indara. The Matrix comes jumping out of nowhere, mounts him, pokes him in the forehead, holds her finger and shakes it, and then we cut to the witches going, and they'll have a heart attack in unison and just die. And then she feels she kills them all, and she goes, "Oh God, I killed a bunch of people," and that's it. And then they go, "Okay, let's get out of here," and they all leave. And Soul goes over, holds the bridge, and he goes, "I can't save both. I'll just save the one who wants to be a Jedi. Screw the other kid." And then, and then they bring him back, and then apparently the Jedi are supposed to be evil or something here. What the hell was going on? That was the most stupidest. I sat there feeling like a dumbfounded. Oh my God!
They never explain what happened to the witches.
Hey,
No.
Yeah, you felt dumb for watching it, and this guy laughed at you the whole time because I was watching something totally different on a different channel, loving it.
Infomercials over
I was
here.
watching infomercials, baby.
With you. That was. I sat there, and that was the second last episode. It leads into the finale, and what happens in the finale? Soul's on his knees, getting choked out by Osha, who bleeds his lightsaber, going, "How could you do that to us? How could you kill my mother? Your mother turned into a giant fucking spoke monster with teeth bigger than a piranha." And she was going to say, "Oh no, I wasn't going to do anything. I was just going to teleport her away. Make her safe. That's how I do it. I turn into a monster."
Oh my God.
I will say
And
this,
they were
though.
there just to give them a citation for homeschooling.
Yeah, they were just going there to give a citation. And
Yeah.
wait, I didn't read the fucking stupidest part. The whole reason that happened was because the apprentice is like, "I don't want to be on this dirt-ass crap planet. I don't want to be moving a metal detector around trying to find junk. I don't want to go home. I want to go back to Coruscant. I want to go to the bars. I want to go have fun." And they're like, "No, you gotta stay here. We're part of this mission." Okay. When they go to the witches, what does the witches do? The witch mother goes into his mind, and you go, "She's gonna possess him or do something." In his mind, she's walking around going, "I know you want to go home. I know you don't want to be this. We can help you with that." What are you going to help them with? How are you going to get him home? When he goes back home, what's he going to do? Just tell the Jedi, like, "Oh, I just left everyone there." Like, what the hell is that going to do? So when they're like there, he goes, "Oh, I get the girls. If I can get the two girls away from the witches, that'll prove the point of the surgeons, and we can go back home." What the hell? There's my rant. That was terrible. That episode pissed me off more than I could fucking imagine. And now
So
you go
you
into the
enjoyed it.
finale. And the finale, terrible too. It was all garbage. Oh my God.
But we did see that hand in the face.
Oh God, Plagueis Darth Plagueis is hiding behind a rock in a cave, pulls his head out like the parents just all the extended family just left from the house. He can leave his room and go get lunch from the fridge now. He can.
And see, you were telling me that you're upset because if it is Plagueis, I guess I don't know for sure. Do we know for sure?
So Plagueis was there. And I don't even think, because after the Ki-Adi-Mundi fiasco about him not even supposed to be born, let alone in the Jedi at this time. I didn't even, because that's his species. His species is supposed to be the same age as humans. Apparently now they're way farther. Plagueis is an Utapauan species. Sorry, not Utapauan. Sorry, he's a 9 mode He's the banking clan species.
I was about to say, just say,
the banking
just
clan.
say banking clan because you're on a full rant. You're not thinking straight. So just say banking
clan species. They're like normal. They live like over 100 years, which is fine. So Plagueis doesn't have a birthday. It's a general range of about 30 years of when he's supposed to be born. If you look at the lowest part, like if you go, okay, so you look at the highest. Furthest back that we know he could be born, he'd be 10 years old in this moment.
So you're ranting about a birthday again? Because Leslie already told you that it's silly to laugh about birthdays. We can just make them older. It's fine. Don't worry about birthdays.
Yeah, it's fine. When the whole point of this is having these characters line up and make sense in anything here.
No,
everyone was like, "Oh, we can get his master, Darth Tanaboris, the Biff species. Why didn't we get that then? No, because 4-2 is the only thing. So then, what do we get instead? We get Yoda. We see Yoda in the end of the series. At the very end, Master, I have to tell you something. I lied and made this whole conspiracy up about Saul being the one who killed all these Jedi. When he was at the temple for like 3 of the deaths. He wasn't even there for half of them. He was in the room with their people who are alive still. When Dara died, when someone else died. So
if I could just
Yoda shows up from the behind, his ears wiggle and they grab the puppet, and the puppet looks like it's from Empire Strikes Back, not 200 years before he's supposed to be like this point. He doesn't even look close to they could have grabbed the old ass gank ass puppet from episode 1 from the vault, and they could have used that, but they didn't do that. They didn't even try that.
They were working with the budget. You gotta realize by this time.
Honestly, that craft service table must have been delicious.
Wait, $180 million. I only saw the back of his head. That was it.
Yeah, but he looks like he's the Empire Strikes Back Yoda, like that old. He looks.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
All right, if you look at him from the High Republic comics, which are contemporary to what he is there, he looks much younger. He doesn't have as great. He has a full fry in the show. He has a full Friar Tuck going at the back there with the. He's got early Lobot with the hair and.
So I just want to point out that we had a first time chat. Apache says, "Now this is the rant that I've been waiting for." I assume
you want to know who that is? That's my friend.
Oh, I had assumed it was because we all know about your rants.
He's been saying to me for weeks at work, "I'm waiting for you to blow up at some point on this stuff." Finally, it triggered me enough to do it.
So what I think is funny is when I saw her interview, she kept dropping names like Pablo and Dave Filoni. If Pablo and Dave Filoni saw this movie, watched some of the the pre-shot stuff, read the script, and said, "You know what? We trust you with Darth Plagueis storyline. We trust you with Yoda. We trust you with Mundi." And they did this. Daddy, Dave, the rest of them, they all need to lose their jobs immediately because you just let rewrite canon for a bunch of stuff that she doesn't really seem to understand what's going on the thing. Like, it seems fine. Like, how easy could this have been? Seriously, if you just broke it down to the smallest amount, there is an unknown person going around killing Jedi. That right there alone would have sold you a movie ticket. We don't know who it is. Somebody's going around. I think it needed to be about 200 or 300 years before, not just 100 years. That's just one generation back, but a little bit farther back than that, maybe.
It would have been cool if it was Darth Bane times and it was his apprentice doing it with the double-bladed lightsaber.
Somebody's killing Jedi and not let us know who it was until it's almost over with. Like, you don't do it. For the first episode, we know who it was and who wasn't. And then the rest of the time, what are we doing? We're just walking around watching really low budget people die. That's what we were doing.
A few lightsaber battles. I mean, that's why I tune in.
I didn't see anything. I didn't get to see a lightsaber battle. I got to saw some Matrix kung fu and a knife get thrown into somebody's chest. That's about all I saw. So,
what do you think of his lightsaber with the small dagger sized one?
The Shoto.
I guarantee the Canadian likes that. He likes that kind of little.
Yeah, the Sith pulling out the Shoto saber and Swiss cheesing the X-23. Perfect. Quick one. I just remembered this. At work, there was a customer that was in the store, and he made a comment about selling Star Wars because the friend there had some pins on his apron, and he's like, "Oh, I won't name the person's name for whatever reasons. Here, spec, I guess." He works for Star Wars Insider, the magazine. He's one of the people who writes for the magazine.
And he slapped him right there on the spot.
You know, we talked about. Oh, so what did you think of Acolyte? And he said he actually got to watch it well before it came out. Like he got to watch the whole thing. And he said he sat there, he watched it. His was his exact mannerism. He watched it. When he finished it, he said, "Well, the fans are gonna hate this. That was terrible."
Wow.
He's like, that was terrible.
And I would say this. Okay, so everybody went after the creator of Star Wars, Daddy himself, and they were happy when Disney got this away from him. Disney has had it since Mandalore 2.25, The Mandalorian. What has Disney made that the Star Wars fans pretty much liked from beginning to end, and it did not absolutely piss off the majority? Because I felt there's more people pissed than they are liking it.
Andor, Mando 1, 2, and Andor are and Clone Wars Season 7 are the most.
The only thing about Andor, though, is Andor is liked by us yahoos. The average monkey that opened it thought it was boring. We liked Andor, but a lot of people didn't like Andor. So I liked it. But what I'm saying is everything else they've made, movies, TV shows, everything that Disney has made has done nothing but piss off a percentage of the fan base, and it's getting higher and higher and higher to now every time they make something, they just start off right at the bat. If you don't like this because you don't like change, you're an old head, you don't like women, you don't like this, you don't like that, and they just keep doing this. And it's like, it's at some point, are they going to make something that the fans go, oh, that was fun? Like, you've already checked all your boxes. If we're going to go into that world, okay? You've checked your boxes. You've done the women thing. You've done all the other stuff. And you've done all that stuff. Now, can we just make one lowbrow, mouth-breathing fan service show that is like, you're like, oh, I can't believe I have to make something so terrible for the incels or something. Just make one thing that all the fans are like, oh, there you go. There's the one, without having to make it, an after school special. The more you know, rainbow comes across the top. Can you just do one, Disney? Because I feel like they're messing up Marvel a lot. They're messing up Star Wars. Willow. They shut down like Willow and all that. That doesn't even exist now. They said that's not even canon.
They pulled it off Disney.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, yeah?
They don't even exist.
They pulled it right off Disney. They didn't even leave it. They didn't even leave it as like part of the joke. The faith story of the faithful Wookiee, our animated Wookiee segment from holiday specials on there, but they pulled Willow after paying all that money for it.
And it's
was that a new one?
Yeah.
The show, they pulled the show.
It doesn't exist anymore. Like if you ask Disney people, it don't exist. That's not. And please do that for some of these shows. Please pull those off Disney and say they don't exist. I got a list of where we can start on that.
I wrote down for episode 4. I wrote a comment. It says, "I feel like I'm watching Star Trek." LOL.
That's disrespectful to Star Trek, and I don't even like Star Trek. That's disrespectful to Star Trek.
It was the makeup and stuff. It was just
like maybe the Peacock dialogue. Star Trek, but like I don't know.
The dialogue was putting me to sleep. I mean, Star Trek does that to me. Puts me to sleep.
Okay, so overall, I guess let's just get 1 through 10. Canadian, what do you got? 1 through 10.
1.
Jesus, come on.
Flat ass 1. The highlight is Kirmir killing the 2 Jedi cool and him being the only good actor in it. That's it.
Okay.
That is all.
Now, I'm going to base this totally based on the rant that he did, because this wasn't the only rant. I got even more colorful rant before we hit go live. I'm going to base it on the Canadians rant. It seems disappointing because it feels like, just by what you were saying, the dude, the bad guy, did a decent job. He was a decent actor. His character could have been cool. So now you've ruined that character because somebody else got to pick that ball up and run with it. So you might have ruined a guy who took it seriously, who was a good actor, who might have played a cool character. It kind of reminds me of like Kylo Ren, honestly, because I feel like he was the only actor that was trying to make something out of it, and with bad writing and bad circumstances, they just would not let Kylo Ren become something more than what it was. And I feel like we almost have another one where they're not letting a decent actor with a decent character just run with the ball and like let him have it. But
I don't think they're going to have a second season, so he won't get a chance.
I think she's going to get a second season. She's going to get a second season.
If this gets a second season, that will blow my mind.
It's like I said, the one major thing I have, and this is legitimate, and this is what I'll say about the whole boy and girl thing. If she was a man, okay, and if she was a straight man, and her last job was being the assistant to one of the most despicable people on the planet, who her last boss was, she would not be getting these opportunities she's getting now, and I don't think she'd be getting a second season. But she's going to get a second season because I think she knows where all the bodies are hidden, and she's about to get a second season. I can't wait because I might actually watch a second season. I might watch it, live stream it with the Canadian on that second season. We'll watch it live.
If that's happening, that's going to be fine.
Now, you said that she got permission from Filoni, etc.
That's what she says.
Because, I mean... Well, what she did with those characters was nothing. They appeared for like 2 seconds.
That's what I think too.
So
I think she used their name to tell. So the fans. She said Pablo and she said Dave. And I think she used their name on purpose. But like you just said, because when he told me what the characters were, it was like a hand in the back of a head. And I think that tells you something, right? They're like, yeah, you can have him a back of a head as he's walking away from you, but he's not going to talk and you're not going to do anything with him. So that might also say something. All right.
You can make your own little cute robot.
Regarding Plagueis' thing, the most apt, the simplest thing I could ever say about it was a comment I saw on a Star Wars official post. Someone said, the real tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise is this being his first appearance in live action.
You can always count on Star Wars fans to write a better comment than the writers of the movies themselves. Fantastic and well done, whoever did that. Shout out to you.
What is your score, Kachin? Have you?
Yeah. Let's go.
So I've added them up.
Punch the numbers. He punched it.
Divide by
He's
pi.
the only professional we have here. He's like, I added him up. I was taking notes. He's
Depending
the only
what his answer is, he won't be after this.
It's the average. So 4.4 is what I gave the.
Good night.
I'm gonna have to look because I think.
What did you give Boba?
I think
I'm sure it was more. I'm sure it was more.
If I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna check the record.
I might have to. Yeah, I might have to go back and look at some of our old things. I feel like I've heard a 4 before. Bad Batch, something got a 4.
There was episodes that got 4s. That's for sure.